I told you that sodium carbonate is to do what? What's the role of sodium carbonate? What role does it play? What I'm talking about liquid soap. You need 1 kilogram of sodium carbonate for powder soap. Look at your notes. You need 1 kilogram of caustic soda.
Then sodium carbonate is also
Il n'y a pas ça là-bas.
Il n'y a pas la page. Voici ça. Ça va en poudre. 1 litre de bicarbonate de soude.
1 kilo.
1 kilo de l'huile de bicarbonate de soude. 1 kilo de soude de passe.
4 litres de mayanga. Pardon?
C'est l'huile qu'on appelle mayanga.
Oui, mayanga, c'est ça. You need 1 liter of sulfuric acid, the chemical agent. This is hydrogen peroxide. This is what some people put in a.
Well, I don't know very well.
What did I say?
It's
also put in hand sanitizer. Some people put in hand sanitizer. When the powder soap, you see how when you put this, the powder soap will rise and then pass the powder
This
is powder soap. You are talking about powder soap, not black soap.
Sodium carbonate. What's the function of caustic soda?
It makes it it helps to remove the food. It also helps to remove the and makes it to be effective. I was explaining in the food dish I read that caustic soda makes it to be hard now. Yes. That's the same rule that it plays in powder soap. They also put caustic soda in soap, in soap. Put on your passion. Come like this, it seems as if it's more than
a liter.
So put on your passion, cover your nose completely. This caustic soda is not good. Big copy of it to get cold. They said that you should leave it for 6 hours, 4 hours. It could be for more than 4 hours. It could be for more than 12 hours. So we are going to keep it till tomorrow morning. So tomorrow morning now we'll come and do the powder soap. It could be for more, you see now. But that's why we say at least.
Maybe let it keep it for 12 hours.
No, it should be at least. Because it could be more. You're working with cost. Open the pot. Where's the wooden spoon?
Yeah.
Of course, don't put it on the ground. Make sure that the water covers the bubbles. now?
Yes.
Are we supposed to continue now when we are supposed to leave it?
No.
Let's go to the step of Yahoo.
Well, 1 liter of water. Take 250 grams of milk and add gelatin.
Into the 1 liter of water. You said I should add what inside?
250 grams of milk and gelatin.
And 1 sachet of gelatin. The ingredients for that this is what? Is there 1 sachet of gelatin the ingredient?
Yes.
This gelatin and it's 1 sachet. You are going to pour in now into the water. Now, in the ingredients you have 4 sachets of what?
Almond milk.
Eh?
Transverse for about 5 minutes until it's ready to well mix.
Secondly, transverse until it mixes well. This is what they call transverse. When you put it like that, you don't put anything inside. You don't stir it with a spoon. You don't use a whisk. You don't use anything. You just transverse like that. Until it mixes very well. Camera woman, are you snapping?
I'm taking on notes.
When it starts foaming like you need 1 kilogram or so, 1 kilogram of caustic, 1 liter of sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid, what is the rule? Sodium agent. Okay, sodium carbonate. Okay, and then we have our perfume. So we have still our sodium carbonate and our caustic now.
Yes.
And then when we steep it, it was too hot now. We said that we should allow it for at least 12 hours for it to get cold. So now it's already cold now. And then the recipe says that what?
The next day, stir it very well and pour it in the kernel of it.
So we are supposed to take it and pour it here now.
Yeah, the solution will be to we fry. We will not come out. So you have to pour in that way and then just pour. For those who don't know, immediately you do it, this is already soaked. This savon macabo. You just take it like this and pour it in the bowl. It's already savon macabo. If you want it to flow very well, you just add the only ingredient. So for it, that's still one of the sugar. Scatter the soup. you will leave it like this, you see that it is strong. Yeah, so we will use this to scatter the soap. Oxygen water or hydrogen peroxide. Another role for hydrogen peroxide is it bleaches. If you put it too much inside this soap, somebody use the soap to wash color dress, it might make the dress with so don't put too much. If somebody does, you have to handle it with care. If you touch it, you will burn your fingers. All that foaming agent is too much, but it's nice. It's so very well. So what do you do? You buy a color, this color, oil color. There's oil color and there's water color. Yes, but we use oil color for powder soap and soaps. So you can buy any color of your choice if it is good. For you to introduce it, you first of all put it inside the kernel oil. Put it inside the kernel oil and stir. The oil continue the procedure. But make sure you don't put too much color. Because the color is too much inside, it's stain somebody's face.
So for now, it's just now for
The white powder, so the white.
for now, it's for me to penetrate.
No, you're supposed to put oxygen water.
You put
When
oxygen
you
water.
put the oxygen water, this means, can they use the soap still in liquid like that? They still, or they must dry it? Can they use it?
Okay, yes. Okay, if the soap is not yet. This bath like this, after we must have finished, this bath you can use it to wash even plates, anything, because you cannot remove anything from the bath. You can use it to steam dresses. Let me just go back here.
Yes, breakfast.
He's taking pictures.
Are you throwing that one or what are you doing with it, madam? Why are you throwing on the floor?
It's powder soap. That's the
You
powder
powder
soap.
soap, all the straw and soap powder.
Now we put this one inside and you will not stain the dressing. When you wash the dress, because it's stain the dressing and you use the seriously. You will just take dress and you want to come and wash. How many minutes? Just minutes. Clean will be very clean.
Tande wa pido runda. Tu wa komona be rek no. Pia R EC. C'est arrête.
You are supposed to be explaining what you are doing. Huh? What are you doing? Tu m'as parlé dans les cours. Je veux que tu expliques ce que tu es en train de faire. Non, mais en expliquant, tu vas verser ça par terre.
Nous sommes en train de mettre du bicarbonate dans 5 litres d'eau. On va revenir jusqu'à ce que ça se mélange bien à l'eau. Et on va attendre pendant 45 minutes.
Parle fort. Ça veut rien dire. Donc, quand elle parle,
Nous sommes en train de mettre le bicarbonate de soude.
le carbonate de sodium, pas le bicarbonate, c'est pas le bicarbonate.
Le carbonate de sodium dans 5 litres d'eau. On mélange très bien, puis on
Gently,
laisse,
my dear, that is going to go.
puis on laisse reposer pendant 45 minutes.
Mets ça bien réseau, c'est cool. C'est dans le plastique. Ok, ça va. If it's okay, take a bit of water and put on that stirrer, then you keep it. If you know that it's well mixed. Is it well mixed? The stirrer here. And then we should do what we should keep it for
45 minutes.
very enough put here. Wow. And then it says that when it's wet meat you should do what? Where's the meat? Please wash it, the fat. So are we going to put it and keep that tomorrow morning to come and continue, eh? Yes. For our juice to continue tomorrow. And then those who want to continue with this, they can continue. This bottle is 125. That means 2 of these has to go to the 3 of them. Open. That means we are supposed to put in one and leave a bit. Maybe I will put it. I said perfume was optional now.
Yes. Can this be sport?
Can this also be sport?
I travel for their class, no even beat.
Tomorrow morning, do powder soap.
The next day, smash the baobab fruit with your hands and remove the grains and remove the seeds.
Maureen did not buy the one I asked her to buy. Maybe she did not see it. When you go to buy baobab fruit, buy the one that is dust, the one that is under the bark, because that one will make the juice to be thick. Then you end up being the person that will gain from it. She just went and bought just that on top. See now, normally it's supposed to be thick until liter of water. From 1 liter of water, you rinse the seed. Smash it. Those small ones that I did not succeed to make. They're supposed to be thicker than this. I don't know whether she will be hurry if she just forgot. When you go to buy, just tell them that don't want to come with something about the approve the ask what I need to say this is your nails that disinfected, so it wasn't touching. It's not work because of the fire. There are other things, there are other clothes
Behind them.
Yes. What does the recipe say from here?
To take the yogurt and sip into the bowl.
Yesterday, I showed you who they are on now. So for us to avoid lumps, we now take all the arrows, put it in a bowl, take a bit of baobab, mix inside. Add the sugar now. This one.
But those who are diabetic,
1 kilogram of sugar. If you want to convert the kilo into liquid, it will be 1,000 grams. 1,000 milliliters rather. So 1 kilogram of sugar will equal to 1 liter. 1 liter of 1 kilo. You know the role of galactic in their work. You see where at times you want to consume their own, maybe you consume their own sachet. When there is ice, see the ice, it's a video of their own. It's because they don't. Gelatin mix. C'est comment maman? No. The best milk to use to make yahoo is lait in cold. In cold. INCO. Pero yahoo. Mais souvent, on ne trouve pas et puis on dit que
moi, pas de complément n'importe qui.
ça là, on va utiliser des millilitres de l'huile. On devait utiliser des millilitres de beurre de karité. This is coconut oil. We are going to what is so this is coconut oil. We are going to use half liter. This is olive oil. We are going to use 1 liter. Why? Because we do not see half liter shea butter. Shea butter makes hair to be thick, and olive oil also makes hair to be thick. And this olive oil is a very good olive oil. And I don't want to open and keep half because I don't know when I'm going to do it. So I'll just use 1 liter of olive oil in the place of half liter of shea butter. And then this is fenugreek oil. It was supposed to be 250 milliliters. So the way every time we can make, so this is 125. Vu les fenouil là-bas, c'est combien?
250.
Ça, c'est 125. Mais ça, c'est la moitié de ça qu'on va faire. Et l'huile de chébet.
C'est 1 demi-litre.
Ça, c'est 250. Et l'huile de racine, c'est raisin. C'est combien là-bas?
250.
Ça, c'est 125. Et je n'ai pas vu le thé vert. Déjà que j'ai vu, je n'ai pas vu ça. Et je n'ai pas vu huile essentielle thé. Je n'ai pas vu ça. Mais j'ai vu les cristaux de menthe. Là, il y a 5 grams of crystal nuts. Ça, j'ai vu ça. I want to see. Even when you taste it, it's mant. Yes, when you taste it, shea butter. Shea butter. It's not a good one. You don't know that shea butter makes your hair to issue. I didn't know that. Maybe it's not the good one. Maybe your hair was dirty.
I'm sure it was not a good one because if you go to your market, you have. It depends on the amount of money that you have, right? They will tell you, celui-ci c'est comme ça, 250, à partir de 250. Celui-ci, c'est 500, ne bouge rien sur ça. That's what they will tell you. It is sure sometimes you might buy something fake, too expensive.
Okay, how do we know good shea butter? You have shea butter, put it under the sun. It is a good shea butter, you melt and
Dissolve, yes.
Eva les produits qui viennent de l'Italie, Eva les produits quasiment tout le monde avec les sels, les machines. C'est la bonne partie. It's only the shea butter. Because have you ever put hair on your and you feel the sky is cool? And so when you get to that, she says one really cool. Vous allez voir ce que si tu mélanges les choses comme ça, ce que ça va faire.
Il faut aussi pousser les choses.
So I'll not be respecting the minute after minute until the time I put it on. Have you ever reduced this thing and then after it? Come on, this one.
And 1 kilo of salt.
What is sodium carbonate? You said that sodium carbonate is what? What is the rule? Well, why should it be under? So that air to be done. So that air to be done for 4.
So we want father by milk, father
Very chocolate. Not very red. Chocolate is very red. And you who should sugar that you get a stand afar while sending your hand. Share the auntie sauce. Share. After 1 hour stirring, that they can start adding water because of that. So they add the water after 1 hour. So when you get tired, you want more extra. Ça va. C'est fait.
Non, c'est grave.
C'est 4. Pas pour un. Hein? Non, c'est 4. That's why I'm drinking water. Parce que si on tourne par la une heure après, on va mettre demain ou après-demain, ça va tout complètement.
You finish the air, consider as if you don't finish all your.
Baba, tu parles, explique ce qui se passe.
Nous sommes en train d'ajouter.
Voilà, on te voit.
Nous sommes en train d'ajouter 25 litres d'eau à notre mélange qu'on a tourné depuis 1 heure de temps.
Pourquoi on met les 25 litres? Pourquoi on met les 25 litres d'eau?
La quantité.
Explique.
La quantité.
On ajoute les 25 litres d'eau pour avoir 25 litres de savon liquide. 50 litres de savon liquide.
Explain. We are master, explain and speak loud. Why they are putting water? I speak loud there.
We are adding 25 liters of water to a mixture to have 50 liters of liquid soap.
Why? Because what happened before the 25 liters? What happened to the previous 25 liters of water? What happened to the previous 25 liters of water? Explain to the people.
We used anti-salt, and 5 liters to stir sodium carbonate. So now we're adding 5 liters to have 6 liters of liquid soap.
Now, in the recipe, they say that they should put what again?
Color.
And what?
And
Is a glycerin. The glycerin is just that your hand should not get dry when you finish using the soup. Your hand should not be that dry.
Okay, now we're
So
adding...
she now just be putting the color bit by bit while you observe.
Now we're adding color. Give color to our liquid soap.
It's okay. Let us stir things and let's see if the color is okay. Then we'll see if we can add or something like that. And why do we always dilute color?
to avoid loss.
And what again? Because when you dilute the color, you can easily observe that yes, the color is okay. But if you just put it like that, like wow, like maybe the thing can spread so much that you cannot. But when you dilute it, you can put maybe that then you see.
It helps for measurement.
But if you want to sell, you should have a measuring cup. You see now, so that you can say that maybe this cup, I can be putting 1 cup of this in my liquid soap. So that each time you produce, you have the same color. Not that this time it has more, that means it's more colorish, the other time it's less. So you can decide to take 1 teaspoon or 1 tablespoon and dilute it maybe in 1 liter or 1.5 liter. Then you have a measuring cup that you take. So that when I produce 100 times, you have 1 at least.
And the colors stay for long when you mix them.
Yes, it can stay even up to 6 months. Should we add more color or we should leave it like that? Now put glycerin. It was supposed to be half of that quantity because it's 25 now.
The set where you have 1 cup, half a cup, take a cup, 1. Everything for the chocolate cake is very easy. Everything just goes in at once. You mix the dry ingredient. Next, put up the cocoa powder. The quarter cup will just be almost full. There is no cup for 3/4 cup. Baking soda. This one I see like. No. What is the function? Baking soda is a rising agent, like baking powder. Yes, it's a rising agent. And also it brings acidity to the cake. Now first, before we do we mix this, You can see on your notes that you have what we call buttermilk. You go to now to make buttermilk. You have it's vinegar and your milk. So I'm going to use this cup. I'm going to measure.
Use only middle milk.
You can use even pig milk. Yes. Because the pig milk is evaporated milk. This is whole milk. So if the recipe says evaporated milk, use pig milk. If it just says milk, use whole milk. And use this. You have to be made and left to cool. It has to be left for at least 5 minutes. So the purpose of the vinegar is so that the milk is going to curdle. We're going to watch and see. Instead of the milk goes for 1 cup of milk. Okay, so this is 1 cup of water. I'm going into the milk. Vinegar and pour into the milk. That's how you make buttermilk. That's 1 tablespoon of vinegar. Bicarbonate, which is 2 teaspoons. Baking powder 1 teaspoon. Baking soda is different from baking powder. Baking powder 1 teaspoon. Salt is 1 teaspoon. So this is 1. So now we're going to the wet ingredients. Buttermilk is still getting ready. What cup? What cup is the last? Vegetable oil, half of a cup. So this is half cup. Vegetable oil, preferably sunflower oil. Not even oily. All of those oils, expensive, but it's the best. Vanilla, 1 teaspoon. Mix your dry ingredients together, especially for the baking powder not to be exposed to air, otherwise it will not rise. So you have to mix everything. So this is vanilla flavor 1. Now I want to add another flavor, which is chocolate flavor. It's not in your notes, but it's very good for chocolate flavor. So we're going to add. Okay, the coffee, I'm sure the water should be low. The last ingredient we're going to add. 1 tablespoon. Just measure it. In any I always just use this flask like in a cup like this. This one. Yes, this one. It has color. It's not smooth. Because of the vinegar.
Just turn a little bit of this.
Can you make sure that the camera is not it?
It's okay.
There's no need to beat the egg. So you put a well in the center. Put a well in the center of the dry ingredients. Oil with ingredients. Then you mix. Yes. Cup of hot water is enough. It's okay. Yeah.
Clean
You're
hot
concerned
water.
about the coffee for kids. Yes, just 1 cup of hot water. Margarine. Since it's an oil-based cake, don't oil the pan with oil. You stick and the cake will not come out. When it's an oil-based cake, you oil the pan with margarine. The pan and the sides, not just even the sides too. Turn it brown over all the sides. Then you can now throw the excess. Please always make sure that you sieve all your dry ingredients, especially the baking soda and the baking powder. If not, you'll have that. So we're just going to wait for the pot to be hot and then put the cake on so that it doesn't stick. So we have to sieve our 1 kilo of icing sugar. The best icing sugar for fondant is Baker's Choice or Suzanne. Just ask in a cake shop CMC, they know it. You might have it in a container like this, or they can put it like this. It's what makes the fondant harden.
What quantity?
According to your recipe, 1 tablespoon. According to the notes. CMC is 1 tablespoon. This is a tablespoon. If you put too much of CMC, the fondant will be too strong. When you say 1 tablespoon, put 1 tablespoon. Don't put more than 1. It's going to be too hard. If you double your recipe, if it's 2 kilos, like that's what we wrote in our notes now. That you don't use multiplication method. Use multiplication method if you are doing more than 1 kilo. Get the procedure.
Beat margarine on
No, that's butter. That's butter. The fondant. Pour some water in a saucepan.
It needs to boil until it is 12 cups.
Okay. So just pour this water. You can put the sand down now.
in a cup or in a glass, but we'll measure here. So I'll fetch some. If it's hard, then we're going to pick. Yes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Then we're going to continue. We have to put in this water, we want to put gelatin. This is gelatin. So it's 1 tablespoon of gelatin. Okay, so we put 1 tablespoon in the 7 tablespoon. Once it's time, put gelatin to sit a while. It swells like Gary. The bigger one that stick it in. Stick. Until it dissolves and becomes clear. Okay. Yeah, that's what they call double boiler. In the notes, this is a double boiler method. When you put, the water doesn't have to enter into it. So, it's 1 tablespoon. So you'll see the gelatin has melted. This spoon of glucose. Glucose is what makes the fondant stretch. Big size. Sometimes it may even come in just a container that is not used for when you notice the texture. Because some people retail, they buy in drops and refill, so they don't put it in. Dissolved. It's clear. See? Everything is dissolved. Yes, we need corn flour. And then because during the rainy season, fondant tends to sweat a lot. You can decorate a cake with fondant in the afternoon, and by the time 1 hour later is sweating. You see it really. Yes, the rainy season affects fondant. So if you have a recipe, you come across a fondant recipe that asks you for glycerin, it's edible glycerin. Don't use it during the rainy season. Don't use it. Okay, so I want to transfer it to the board. Cornstarch. It's not full. You find it in cake shops or in the supermarket. Cornstarch. It's not full. So you're going to use your hands. You cannot do this thing without hands. Please just be taken. easier and cheaper to make your own fondant. You sell a kilo of ready-made fondant, 5,000. And when you do this one, you see that it weighs more than a kilo, and it's less than 5,000. Now with the lockdown, you sell a kilo for 7,000.
Add caustic soda and stir for 10.
Caustic soda will which quantity? You already showed you all the ingredients and the measurement now. Who is signing? Who is signing? How many minutes? 10 to 15 minutes. How many minutes now? Already? What's the time?
11:57.
11:57. So we are stopping at what time?
12.
No, I can't. No, you want it.
Ask to drink probably.
No, after my younger, what you have to do not talk about scaling it very well.
Okay.
Tell very well.
If you move this.
Move there.
Oil, Yellowstone, and all of them in other countries. We have everything. We have the best black soup. Really good ash. That's what I was talking about. The spoon that we're using to mix that's more standard to the spoon. Measure Yellowstone. doing the SMS here. Be liquid or powder?
Talk now.
You don't want me to talk. So I showed you everything in the morning. I showed and then I explained what is the role. Ask the other thing that I got. Ask share water. Not even brown. That's meat that is making like this. But when it will be cooked in milk.
Yeah, salt. Salt.
You put nothing in the spoon. Add the salt, but that's that you should also put to make it black. See now, but when we are going to cook it, the thing is going to become black. What did I add again?
Good. That was just all.
That's all there. Okay. I think I've seen babies.
Make it happy.
But it's hard now.
You want to add the name of this, but those
Just happening.
C'est la bloc.
I give any man whether I 3 days, a month or 4 days, a month, you can't give the other person food. The other 3 days, a month, I go this, and then I can't
Can you clap as strong as if you are in a ruling party? Okay, thank you for your cooperation. So we are going to have today a complementary concept to what you guys have been doing. You know what is great about the approach of Reset the Mind is that they don't only focus on giving you the technical skills. And you have many people who train on the things you were trained on. You can do it anywhere. But the added value here is that we also give you the soft skills that will permit you better sell what you produce. And for those who did a bit of economics, is there someone who did economics here? Yeah. What was the first, what brought in the Industrial Revolution? So that's how the Industrial Revolution came. But in the long run, what was the shortcoming of the Industrial Revolution? Before you come to that position where you sell to the direct customer, there are things you have to put in place to be able to sell well. And that's the focus of our first session today. We are going to see how to do a market analysis. Don't be afraid, because when they say market analysis, some people are saying that it depends on a big book team, the meeting say Douala. But we are going to show you how, even if you are 10 years old, you are 5 years old, please can everybody put it, that we will use. That even if you're in a primary school, even if you not go far to school, even if you are young or old, you can use to do your market analysis. And when I talk about market analysis, what comes in your mind? So one good question, we are going to change the clapping. Parce qu'un jeune aujourd'hui doit être vrai. Même pas pour le Cameroun, même pour le business. Si tu es un client qui parle en français, tu parles en français. Si tu es un client qui parle en anglais, tu parles en anglais. So I was saying that what I'm about to say engages me. It's not the same thing mind asked me to say. Competition. So I want you to understand those principles in the market, because when you understand the market, there is the demand and the supply, meaning that the person from whom they will take is the person who offers the best in terms of
Price.
what else?
Quantity.
Yes. Another element, key element, marketing.
Utility.
Packaging, design. Because if you do something, there are products that are very cheap, that with cheaper amount you can buy a lot. But people go and buy the same kind of product, smaller, more expensive, and it sells. So packaging also enters. 2, 3. You point the person you want to be, you want him or her to be the leader. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So you are the team que vous produisez. Et en tant qu'équipe, vous allez want to sell, you as your powder soap and you for black soap. So you guys are going to create a product. I don't know if you understand what I mean by create a product. It means that you have to give. No, I'm not on the technical part. On the business, on the marketing part. So you have to give a name to your product. Okay. You have to give it a quantity. How do you want to package? Is it 1 kilogram, 2 kilogram, 10 kilogram? Where do you want to sell, and all the rest? So here we are not talking on the technical part. We are talking on the business part. So you give the name of your product, how you want to call it, how you are going to package it, the quantities, the people to whom you want to sell. Okay? And you must make it nice, because you do a presentation at the end. So each team has 10 minutes for that. Go, as from now.
The sun that you see that does not discriminate shines on everybody. And so everybody, all the rich are like everybody. And that's why I chose to learn. If I'm going to learn or sunrise, we don't discriminate.
Please, when choosing a name, put style in it. You should not choose a name that is only a 2 or 1 that will know what it means. Put style in it, that is nice.
Purity, dating, purity, I was saying to you because so many I just add L at the end. L at the end. I was saying that.
If someone is not contributing the group will lose points, will fail.
I was saying that.
Everybody should contribute. Quick.
When somebody talks, you jot down the idea, you jot it down.
Decided to go on the path of quality.
Okay. So you said something very interesting. Your product as compared to the other, is it? But does the customer always have the time to hear what you have to say?
They may not. They will identify.
So if they don't have the time to even listen and they don't buy, how will they identify? So the point is this.
Their price, and what customers ask often.
How many shops do you do?
3 shops.
3 shops.
If they went to 3 shops, maybe went to our own.
Ah, okay. Yes. In a group, you did subgroups.
Yes.
Is anybody back?
No, it's missing.
6.
What? Yes.
The same product you use on your body.
And what do you say?
We accept. That is the same product we are using on our body.
So from the customer's feedback, you know what you have to do. So you know that if you have to take a team of salesperson, what will you have to do in regards to that question? You have to. The last question.
What? One you are using the.
So that's how. So if you don't have all those small.
Let's start with advantages.
You see his price, you want to reduce it, it sticks on your neck. So you must understand the market.
Because it's oldest in the market. Yes, that will move the very fast.
On the paper, we have our field work report. There is a report on what we faced in the market. So, firstly, we face this problem of.
I forgot. Please start.
Presenting our black soap, we face these difficulties or these challenges on inavailability of samples. That is a sample that you can give for someone because they ask that, how can I know that what you're telling me is true? So you have to give someone one at least to go and taste to know that your product is really good. Then we also face this challenge on prices because we went to a shop, we discovered that what we sell, 250 grams, we sell for 500 francs. But the one we find at that shop, she was selling 125 grams for that same 500. So you see that there is a difference in prices. Then we also.
So meaning that if you had produced, who would have been losing?
Yeah. So we also face this.
I don't know if you understand the experience. Yes. So most of the time we think on the products on our own self in our own room, and we don't go and listen the market. And when you sell you have to sell.
Of packaging out there in the market, we discovered that the way we package our own is not the same way with theirs because our own is so poor and local. Because on their own, you do not see the savon itself. They seal the savon in a local wrapper like this and take a paper and cover with it. So according to our own, it was so poor. So we have to improve, so that while packaging our own, we can also we can package the first packaging like this. Then the last one that we have to take and present, we'll cover the whole soap in such a way that it cannot be seen.
Why are they doing that packaging? Who knows why?
The color.
Yeah.
They can be the color or some people what they'll do that they'll do a bigger packaging and then when the quantity of what is inside the soup.
And they may also
you put inside that makes the product concentrated. So the expiration date means that at that date, I don't guarantee that that concentration will still be the same. So you can have other effect if you don't respect the date. So all of it must be there. And there's also one thing that must be present on your packaging if you want to sell internationally. What if you want to sell? Barcode. So if you say that, okay, you want to do it to sell it quarter style, it can pass. But if, as I thought I was introduced, that you want to sell, you aim to sell high, you must have those elements on your product. So that's why you only took the wrapping on your product and you say it's 500. But as me, I know that I will have to pay the labeling, I will have to pay the marketing, I will have to pay I will reduce the quantity and sell it in the same price with me. And I will see, for me who went to school, I will say, I will not consume. Meanwhile, in terms of quantity and price, I will go and take a small and I say, no, there's this. And countries are also working to have their labelings. Yeah. When you see made in France, made in this. So here, maybe it's made in Batibo, I'm not sure that it's good. Or made in Bangula in my village, I'm not sure that it's good. So all those elements will influence the mind of the customer who wants to take the product. And that's all what I put when I want to do my pricing. I don't only price the products. And in some products, for example, like in beer, do you know what is most expensive in beer?
The bottle.
It's not even the liquid, it's the bottle. If you remove the liquid, maybe the liquid, they can sell it at 150 or 200. So the pricing, the huge part of the pricing is because of the bottle. So if you don't include all those elements, you will not compete.
On the way you appear in front of your customer, that's your physical appearance. Because, for example, when we put this physical appearance, the last customer we met, that was the person who bought the 2 savon from us. Because the way we appeared in front of him, just smiling, talking with boldness, not as if you are so hungry or you are so tired, no matter what you face or no matter how problems you have, you just have to be bold first, then you also have to smile. So those are one of the challenges also. Then,
and please, I'm very happy. A charge you have to inquire for your sales team, pour ton équipe de vente, par rapport à l'apparence physique. Tu comprends que quand tu as ton équipe de vendeurs, tu vas intégrer quelle charge? Les tenues. Que ce soit t-shirt, que ce soit polo, que ce soit chemise, que ce soit quoi, on va intégrer ça et on s'assure qu'ils sont toujours propres. Vous avez déjà vu un vendeur de produits orange sale. Je ne parle pas d'un corboxeur. Je dis un vendeur de produits orange sale. Vous avez déjà vu.
had this challenge on how to apply, because people will ask you, when I take this savon, when I want to bathe with it, should I just scrub my body and throw water at once, or does it have some limited minutes for me to wait before I bathe? So you have to explain all that to them so that they will know if you have to. It has an affection if you leave it on your body for some minutes or not. Then we also had this challenge on our wholesale price. Like while presenting, they ask, how much are you selling this? You say 500. You say, okay, if I want to buy and go and sell it, how much will you give me this one? Of which I gave them an answer, I will give you this one for 400 francs, so that for you selling, you can sell for 500 francs, you have a gain of 100 francs.
So in sales of product, you must know your
wholesale price
and retail price. So when you're doing your business plan, you calculate which price?
Retail.
When you're calculating your business plan, you do it on the wholesale. So when you're calculating your income, you calculate your income on the wholesale price, because the difference between your wholesale price and the retail price, that amount serves for. So that's what we call is the amount for the intermediary between the manufacturer and the market. Okay, because I can give it to you at 400 because I know you will sell at 500. I know in that 100, maybe 25 francs will go for communication. 25 francs will go for this. This will go for this, and this amount will go for this. So when I'm doing my plans, I should not calculate on the retail plan, on the retail price, because that intermediary cost generally is not for me. It's for everybody who will go into the system. So meaning that even if I am the one selling it at retail price, that margin will still help me to manage all what is in that interval. Okay, so when you do your calculation, you do it in the wholesale price. Okay. Now maybe in a further the challenge with this program is that people who are participating are not always the same, and the content cannot be the same each time. My wish would have been that each time we talk of new things that we have. Because for a further training program, we will focus on distribution. Because based on your distribution model, you know how to do the pricing, and we cannot do everything in one session.
In addition,
yes,
what we also learned when we were in our field work, we discovered that when you go out to sell, you are not just interested in selling your goods. You also give time to the person who is buying to talk about what he is selling, like the soap that we sold in the market. The man now, he took his time to listen to what we were saying, which after we sold our soap, we also waited for him to advertise what he is doing, which we exchanged numbers. So that now he will help us to sell our soap while we help him to advertise his own business. in our own field.
Rising cost. You know, you see, for example, you go and tell to Orange that you want to sell their products. What will Orange come and do?
We come to your place, survey,
And with the key points you want to get from the product, you got the information and you wrote a report at the end. Now from that report, you know how you are going to work on your product. Okay? Any other point?
Next analysis on powder soap production. And here is our field report. In the field, we discovered that there are many brands of powder soap. We have the Mada, the Saba, the Kozu, the Grill, the Ariel, and the Clean. Those are the different names that they give. And we also
those are
the brands.
Yes. Other characteristics to your product that are not scientific. Petrol from Total, because you said that Total is for Ajebo. But the petrol is the same, the price is the same. A buyman will take that l'essence de Bocom est bon jusqu'à. Meanwhile, it's the same formula, it's the same everything. Okay?
The same company that supplies Saba, the company that supplies Saba, the same company that supplies Ozil.
Okay.
And they told us that Brie was first of all supplied by another company, but now they have merged.
Okay.
So the same company that supplies Saba, Ozil, and Brie.
So meaning that in terms of production, what do they do?
They play on the consumers. Because
No, in terms of production. In terms of production. And not yet in terms of consumption, in terms of production.
See the bag that is supplied to them has 160 sachets.
Yes.
Both Mada, Ozil, Brie, and Brooklyn, like that. And one bad thing they told us that Mada has after sales advantages because they are permitted to pay instrumentally.
Oh.
That is why most of them prefer Mada. Say you can even pay at 3 installments, so they prefer to go for Mada. And in addition to that cheaper price, so Mada, they say to them, Mada has won the market.
Can we close? Okay. No.
Can I say something?
Yes, say something. Let's play it here.
From what I discover in the market, I discover that teamwork is very important. If we work as a team, we make it, we grow. Now, my bleached eau de javel is 2,500 francs. But when you go to the supermarket, you see for 1,500. What is their secret? You and I will go and buy for a kilo, 1 kilo, 2 kilo, but they'll buy in drums and their prices will be more cheaper than ours and will always win the market. So if we want to work as a team, we just need to take our numbers here. We can, for instance, decide to buy our raw materials in bags or in drums, then we share, we produce, we can see as well produce as one. We need to grow.
So the same model as from the field work, you are talking the same model as Brie, Saba, Ozil. Yes. That's their business model. Kia and Hyundai, they did a partnership. The Kia cars who look similar like Honda cars, because they came together, they sparsely, they produce it in the same place. It makes it cheaper. So at the end they say we produce, let's say we produce 10,000 cars, 5,000 will be Kia, 5,000 will be Hyundai. And they make it in such a way that when a spare part of your Kia is bad, if you see this, a similar thing for Hyundai, you just put it and it works. So they did that to reduce their cost. So when you don't do the market analysis, you go and it will be difficult for you. You need to have all those elements for you to better compete. So now the last part of the exercise, we said you first had the first part, the first thing we did was you had the report of your market. Now from those two elements, I want you now to rework on your product and do us a proposal that fits to the market. 10 minutes.
The product inside that is different. There's one that's more plain than one.
The first thing I'm going to do is
So then,
back on our powder soap. We're just a new brand in the market, and we're called Solid Detergent. And our Solid Detergent is made up of oxygen water, caustic carbonate, kernel oil, perfume, and water. And on our product is made in Cameroon. And can be sold in Semak soon. And this our product has been produced in 2020, and it will expire by 2022. It will no longer be too good for use. So what does this our product used for? For you to have effectiveness of the product, you need to pour 30 grams, which is sold for at least 50 grams, in 5 liters of water. You stir it very well. You steep your cloth inside and wait for at least 10 minutes for the chemicals for full reaction. And also you can also use this product on your toilet. You can use it on dishes. It's gentle and all of that. So we have packaged our product in 30 grams, 125 grams, 500 grams, and 1 kilo. And for our pricing, we are taking 30 grams for 50 francs, and our wholesale price is 38.5 francs. And we don't give it to the customer as one. We give it in a bag of 156, which will cost 6,000 francs. And this customer selling at 50 francs will be able to sell it at 7,800 francs. So the customer will be able to have a gain of 1,800 francs. Also, we have this one of 125 grams. It will sell it. We'll give the market price will be 175 francs, but we'll supply it to our customer at 150 francs, and in a bag it will contain 100 pieces, which gives us that our bag will be sold for 15,000 francs, and our customer will be able to sell it for 17,500 francs.
Our retailer.
Our retailer, thank you. So for our 500 grams, the selling price will be 650 francs, and our wholesale price will be 600 francs, and we'll be selling a bag which will contain 50 of them inside. So we have our 1 kilo, which is 1,200 francs, and our wholesale price will be 1,150 francs. And for this 1 kilo, our bag will contain 25 of them inside, such that at least the retailer will be able to buy. Because if you put more quantity inside, the retailer may not be able to buy. Okay, our target population will be everybody, because this is a commonly used product. So where are we going to sell this our product? We'll go with it to shops. We'll go with it to supermarkets. We'll also look for people who sell in local market to move around and shout with speakers. Also, we'll look for those who are doing pressing, because they will use more of this detergent in cleaning the dresses, such that they will have the opportunity to get it at a wholesale price, and that will encourage them to buy more often from us. And they will also look for people to sell around about, since there's a lot of movement, so that our product will be seen in the market. We also go to restaurants, since they can easily also use it to wash their dishes. What is the advantage of our product?
This our product removes stains. It is easy to use. It has a good fragrance and is gentle on your hands, such that after using, you should not have any problem with your hands, since we use hands to, most people use hands to do laundry. Okay. Also in advertisement, we use sales girls, we use radio announcement, and also we make smaller packaging in such a way that we can give to our retailers to also taste, so that they're able to convince our consumers that the product is good. Thank you very much.
Here we have our black soap. On our black soap, the name of our black soap is a body cleaner. So on our body cleaner soap, we have our number, our phone number that you can contact us if you should, in case you buy the product, then it's good for you, you need it the next time. We also have our email address that you can go online and get us. We have our production date, and we also have our expiry date on the body cleaner savon. Then on this body cleaner savon, we have our ingredients, which are made up of some things like Nikki, vitamin C, sodium carbonate, silicate, white kernel oil, caustic soda, shea butter, and snail gel. And the advantages of this body cleaner goes this way. It helps you to kill bacteria in water. Maybe the water you are using is not really good. There are bacteria, there are germs inside the water, but when you use the savon to bathe, it will kill all the germs. Then it will also nourish your body in such a way that maybe you usually bathe and your body is so dry and it looks somehow as if it is twist. So when you use this savon, you will discover that your body will be smooth, it will not be twisted anymore. Then we also see that it will lighten your body. And it will make your body it will not change the color of your body. If you are someone who is fair, you will remain fair. It will just smooth your body. If you are someone who is dark, you will remain dark. It will not change your color. It will maintain the color of your body. Then how do we use this savon? We use this in doing gommage. That is when you bathe, you can use it after bathing. Gommage, you use it, we massage your body with, in such a way that maybe you have rashes on your body. You can take the savon, you just apply on the place where there are rashes. You just drop a little bit of water and just scrub. Then you discover that all the rashes is gone. You apply it on your body before bathing. Then you don't wait for some time before pouring water. Immediately you apply on your body, you scrub your body, you pour water immediately, and that is how our savon is being used. And it is being made in Cameroon. That we could not put on our poster. That is, we have on our black soap 125 grams. We sell that for 500 francs, and we sell 300 grams for 1,000 francs.
Are you finished now? Yes. Okay. 3 questions.
I just have a little worry. Black soap. Who are those who can use black soap? Can I use it for on a child of 1 year old, little newborn babies? Can they use black soap?
Black soap, because it's from 5 years upward.
With that name, body cleaner. The body cleaner. How can I just see a soap? It is black. Anyway, you mentioned that you cannot see the soap. So how will you convince me that it's black soap? I just see that body cleaner. Maybe the name was supposed to be medicated black soap, or is it maybe it is aloe vera black soap, something that will make it for somebody to know that no, this is really black soap. something to move me to buy, but that name body cleaner, I think cannot.
Because of time, we don't know the image. We were supposed to clarify you on that word.
You have the time now to answer. It's a question.
You're supposed to draw like a person, and you were supposed to do like that so that you know. I don't know.
That's what you have an image of someone who is, let me take for example, like having pimples at first, then after using the savon.
What you are doing? Oxygen or oxygen water which is inside, it does this, it does that. I don't know if you understand. So explain the advantages of your product, not the characteristics of the product. And in sales, I think we said it last time.
I think that they should have put a name, like what she said is true. Body cleaner is just like normal cleaning soap. They should have put something that would tie to the characteristics of that soap. The name body cleaner does not match the characteristics of that soap.
So that is true. That's what. Now to conclude, if you were to invest from the presentations that were made, where would you have invested?
Invest.
Based on the presentations.
On the two presentations here, I will invest on powder soap.
Why?
Because with powder soap, even with 50 francs, you can still you can still afford.
We are into business. You guys were explaining us what you want to grow, what you intend to do. If it was a business opportunity, she told you if you come with 17,000, it's money for you to do the business. And that's what an investor is called. Now, there are many forms or there are many places where you can have an investor. For married people, who can be one of the first source of investor? Your husband. Don't go tell him that. Don't go tell him that. Since I'm in the house, I do nothing. Just give me money, I do business. No, you do. Yes, no. You do the proposal, and we do like this, sell like this, and that. If you put this amount, this is the money we can have, and this is the benefit we can put. Another investor now, which is more formal, can be people in the bank, can be in your jangi house, can be in the different competitions that exist in the world where you can go and compete, and if your product is well presented, then you can be sponsored. Now, there's one principle in investment. When someone invests, what does he wait in return? A return on investment. Business is not charity. Okay? Business is business. Some people will say there's the charity of business or there's the business of charity. So when we are into business, when you go and seek for financial support, that we call investment, that is being done by an investor, bear in mind that he or she investing is expecting a return. Okay, so that's a bit what I can explain on investment in very low language. And you have the skills. You know that if you don't have the money, if your project is well set, you can go and search for someone who can invest. But if you don't have someone who can invest, how can you do to invest in your business? Start small. Don't say that the trainer said that you should wait for an investor or an investor to start. If you don't have, start small. If you can produce one puff-puff and you sell, and the money that you sell can make you produce 2 puff-puff the other day, you continue. This is when you do that, tomorrow you have at least a small capital that will make you grow big. Okay, yes.
I cannot just come in a business and I just invest big. I think I have to first of all start small, even if I have the capital. Yeah. Because from producing small, this person will tell me that, see, that are so, this problem is there, this one will tell me, take ideas from there with time. Maybe about 6 months or 1 year, I might be very good now in the business. In fact, I now go in and
yes.
Because when the group that was presenting black soap presented the soap that we have handy. Now we said for your product to be of good, to be presented well, you need to do the packaging. Now that if you say that we can start small. Now that's what we have, and some we are having like a setback because of the packaging. How do you handle something like this? Because to start small, there are also some challenges. You'll not be able to beat to match up with the already existing products in the market. How do you go about it?
That's small. And she took the practical example of what you guys had from the field, where the packaging of your soap, of your black soap, was not competitive as compared to the others. Now we are asking us to start small. If she doesn't even have the money to do that packaging that will be able to compete, how should we do?
You package has its kind of customers. You can decide to deviate from your type of customers. For example, instead of selling in Douala in supermarket, you move to Suza, which is a smaller market and which they don't mind about the packaging. And then you look for your market in order to grow your capital.
Curriculum for market. So I go to the market where we bought. My dream is still there. I know that I have to quit from Douala to Yaoundé. What are the means that you can quit from Douala to Yaoundé? The fastest means to quit from Douala to Yaoundé? Plane. If you don't have the money to take the plane, what will you do?
Train is the second option.
Take the train. If you don't have the money to take the train,
you take a bus.
If you don't have, you
start trekking.
You start trekking. Yes. So the starting trekking does not change your goal. Your goal is still to reach to Yaoundé. It's just that you are starting by trekking. Maybe when you reach by a day, you see someone who will give you money to take a car that will leave you at Puma, maybe at Puma. So that's how you have to reason. If I don't have the means to compete with the market I want to compete, okay, let me start from somewhere. Then after, excuse me please, clap one time. If it's not what we say here, we don't clap, okay? Two things that you got from the training we did today.
One of the things I learned is it should be self-discipline in order to serve your customers well. And then secondly, you can start from somewhere. There's always a base. It doesn't matter how small the capital you have is. Just start and then strive to improve on what you do. And then you go big. Thank you.
Yeah, what I've learned mostly is that they should be welcoming. When I go out to meet my customers, I say, welcoming my customers.
That's what you said to the second thing.
And secondly, before producing a product, maybe I need to know the taste of the customer before I get into it.
Two things I retain is that procrastination is a very bad spirit in business. Then another thing I retained is that you should not tell lies, be real.
Now in business, while producing, you must have retail and wholesale. I've never done that before. Maybe now I'm going to wholesale and retail, and then the quantities. Everybody should be able to afford 1 liter, 2 liter, even if it's half liter is important.
Ce que j'ai pu apprendre aujourd'hui, deux choses. J'ai appris certains paramètres quand on veut lancer une activité, la production d'un produit, se rapprocher des personnes qui vendent et qui consomment afin de mieux se renseigner sur les produits qui sont déjà sur le marché, afin de pouvoir fixer nos prix. Et aussi l'organisation du travail, la vitesse dans le travail, ainsi que la communication avec les clients. Lorsqu'on traite avec eux et qu'on doit leur livrer les clients, il faut se rassurer que la quantité qu'ils veulent, c'est ce qu'on a, et le prix inclut la livraison ou pas.
When doing my business plan, I should do my calculations on the wholesale price. Then secondly, I learned that when targeting my market, is my product is not yet fixed for my market, I should start from another market.
It's one of the most fundamental principles that you cannot sees all the opportunities, must choose the one which is more visible. The second thing I've learned is that as a new entrepreneur, which my business is doing this, that the main, like, I don't know how to say it, people who buy my product by sympathy.
By sympathy,
I learned that in business, there are some customers that we need to forgo. Then secondly, I learned that
I don't want us to turn it like there are some customers we need to forgo that we have to seize. The mindset is different. So because when we say that there are customers we have to forgo, it seems as if we don't care about the customers or we have enough customers. But it's about calculating the opportunity. The opportunity for doing this, is it optimal for me or not? Okay.
in business,
Yes.
the customers we have in the market, we look for the advantages that are suitable for our business. Then secondly, to add our speed in business, we need to be organized. We need to have a plan.
I need to, if I'm not well organized, I will not be able to satisfy, to serve my customers. And also to put my product in the price that will be affordable for everybody in the society.
Oui, il y a deux choses que j'ai retenues parce que je ne suis jamais allé au marché pour faire la prestation qu'on a fait là aujourd'hui. Donc ça m'a quand même plu parce que vraiment la façon dont tu nous as envoyé au marché là, c'est vraiment, j'ai apprécié. Je n'ai jamais fait ça. Donc pour cela vraiment je suis contente pour ça. Je vous remercie.
Donc ça veut dire que avant de lancer un produit, il faut
le vérifier.
Il faut connaître son marché, l'information.
Oui.
Deuxième.
Et connaître le prix.
Le prix.
Oui.
Pour pouvoir savoir comment.
Non, je devais vendre pour moi.
C'est ça.
During our course, during the market, I have to. My physical appearance counts a lot in front of the customer. Then secondly, I also learned this, that while being with the customer, while in the market selling my own product, I have to check on the other products in order to see if they are the same with mine, or I have to add something in order to make it nice more than that. To sell.